Okay, we're going to use our big ball and our netted ball. So if you've got both, grab them, have them handy. We are going to start in standing. We're just going to start with our feet. So grab your netted ball, or if you have your peanut, if you're working from home, or even if you just tape up your 2 tennis balls or put them in a tube sock and tie a little knot at the end. So whatever tool you're working with, just hang on to your big ball for a second, place your double netted ball on the ground, and then we're just going to start to massage gently through the bottom of the foot. You can roll all the way around. You can find the blade edge of your foot, instep, toes, any place that feels good. Just gently roll the bottom of the foot and just kind of tune in and notice, how do your feet feel? Nice. Take one more roll through the bottom of that foot, and then when you're ready, switch over to the other side. Beautiful. One more roll through the bottom of this foot, and then we're going to come down into a seated position, and just make sure that your stuff is cleared out of the way so that you're not going to trip over your weights or any of that fun stuff. So come down into a seated position, and we're going to start with the double netted balls. So we're going to place the double netted balls under right about the Achilles tendon, so right where the Achilles tendon and the ankle meet, and then just kind of settle it so that your Achilles tendon is in that little middle groove between the two balls. And then once you've got your way there, we're just going to do a little turn of the foot side to side, just a little windshield wiper action. Awesome. One more little turn of that foot side to side, and then just lift your leg off, pass your netted balls over to the other side, switch to the other foot, place your other Achilles tendon or right where the tendon and the ankle meet. And then once your foot is on in that groove, swish your foot a little side to side. Nice. One more little swish side to side, and we're going to cruise along a little bit quickly to use the netted balls so that we can get up to the glutes to use the big ball. So start by just moving that netted balls back underneath the right foot. Free up your hands so that you can move, or it's under my right calf. I don't know what word I said, but pick your butt up, and we're going to do a big glide. So we're going to glide down towards the Achilles tendon, all the way up to where the muscles meet the back of the knee. Once you've got that nice big glide going on, you can add a little foot turn. So you might turn the foot out and then turn the foot in and just kind of move up and down, but you can add a little rotational movement as you go. But only if that feels good. If that feels like it's just too much to coordinate or you've got enough work happening, you just do the depth of work that feels the best to you. All right, one more big up and down. And then when you're ready, we're just going to switch right over to the other leg. So pass that netted ball across, place your leg on, lift your butt up, and then do that nice big glide. So the hands help support. My right leg is helping that movement happen. So you go to the depth of work that feels good. Once you've got that movement going on, if that twist and turn of the foot feels good, add that on. Lovely. One more big up and down, and then set your butt down. Move those balls out from underneath you. Grab your big ball. We're going to place it underneath the back of the right thigh. Once you've got it underneath the back of the right thigh, hands are going to help support. Lift your butt up and take a big glide up and down that ball. Stay in the middle of the back of your thigh. And then I promise we will come back to the hamstrings, but in a tabletop position. So take one more big glide up and down. And then when you're ready, set your butt down. Move that ball over to the other side. Big ball underneath the left hamstring muscles. Put it in the middle of the thigh best you can. Pick up your butt and then take a nice gentle glide up and down. Nice. One more big glide up and down. And then when you're ready, set your butt down, pick that big ball up out from underneath that left leg. And now we're going to place it underneath the right glute. So we're going to place it under the glute, just so I'm still tipped over to the side. Once you've got it under the glute, both hands on the ground, lift your butt up so you're elevated, hardly any body weight on it first, and then start to just swirl around, moving big, giant, generous circles. One more big, giant, generous circle, and then reverse circles go the other way. Nice. And now we're going to find the center point or the thickest, meatiest part of your glute muscle that you can. You're just going to kind of sit onto the ball. So you're going to let as much body weight onto the ball as you can stand. Extend your leg nice and long. And then we're just going to do a little bit internal, external rotation with the foot. So we're going to turn the foot in and turn the foot out. But my butt is like still way up off the ground. My left hand is helping support. And I'm just holding most of my body weight in that right glute, but I can't sit all the way down. Awesome. One more little turn of that foot in and out, and then we're going to pick up your body, roll over onto the side. So we're going to get onto the side of the glute, let your elbow and forearm support, let your body weight rest. So the side of your glute, or think of where that nice indentation or that curve of your side of your butt, find that spot, and then just with as much breath work as you can, settle your body weight on and take about 3 nice deep breaths. Awesome. Now, if you can stand it, if you can stay on that side of that glute, now we're going to take that bottom leg or the right leg, the leg that the ball is underneath, and we're just going to bend and glide the knee up and then move the leg away. Beautiful. One more glide up and down with that knee. And then we're going to use the elbow and forearms to support, use your legs to help support. And then we're going to draw some circles around the side of that butt muscle. So circle around with as much freedom of movement as you can find. Let your arm and leg support. So you only put as much body weight as feels comfortable to you. If you're going in one direction and you like to reverse, maybe you take your circles and go the other way. Nice. And then when you're ready, slowly and gently roll your weight off of that ball entirely. We're going to come back around. So keep the ball out from underneath you. Come back around so you're seated onto your butt. And now we're going to take the right leg across the left into a little figure 4. Gently draw the leg up towards your chest just as far as feels good. Take a moment here just to take a breath. Awesome. Now we're going to soften up the bottom leg a little bit. And if you can, grab your netted balls. We're going to lean off of that right side just so you can slide those netted balls underneath your glutes. And then once you've got the netted balls underneath your right side glutes, we're just going to take a little bit of a rock side to side. That can be intense though. So if you're in this figure 4 position and the ball on, that might feel like it's just way too much. So you just go to the depth of work that feels best in your body. Nice. Take one more little rock side to side and then lift your butt off completely. Send your left leg nice and long. Move your balls just a little off to the side. And now we're going to grab the big ball again, moving it over onto the left glute. So we're going to put the ball underneath the glute. Legs are going to help support, arms are going to help support, and then we're just going to draw big, generous circles around that ball. Sometimes when you're moving along, the ball will get caught in your clothes. It'll get caught up on the mat. So sometimes you just have to pick it up and move it right back into place and move on with your life. All right, if you were going in one particular direction, maybe you reverse circles and go the other way. Nice. And then when you're ready, we're going to come onto the side of the glute. So we're going to roll over so we get that side glute muscle. See if you can just relax onto it just a little bit. My arm is still helping support. If it feels good, you're going to slide that bottom leg up and down. One side might feel totally different than the other. So if you did one side and you're like, that felt great, but then you get to the side and you're like, yowza, that feels intense. You find the depth of work on each side that is appropriate for the feeling that you're feeling in your body. All right, one more big up and down. And then if it feels good, you're going to draw little circles, go in one direction. And then if it feels good, you'll draw those circles and go the other way. Nice. And then when you're ready, with control, roll yourself off of that ball, take the big ball out from underneath your glute. And now we're going to come into our figure 4. So left leg is going to come across the right, slide that right leg in, find your figure 4, take a breath. This already might be enough. This might be plenty of work for you here. But if it feels good, you're going to grab your netted balls. You're going to lean out of that figure four just a little bit so you can move that ball, the set of netted balls underneath your butt. And then you're going to take as much movement here as feels good. Nice. One more little roll around there. And then when you're ready, lean off the balls, extend your legs, let everything go, bounce out your knees, shake out your butt just a little bit. All right. And now we're going to take our netted balls and we're going to work up the length of the spine, but we're going to do that with a little bit of efficiency just so that we can flip over and do some work on the front half of the body. So bend your knees, take your netted balls with you, move your big ball just out of the way for now. We're going to lift the butt up, placing the balls, the netted balls alongside the spine. So we're in the muscle tissue that runs alongside the spine, but getting into that low back just a little bit. So find those muscles, settle your butt down just a little bit. There's still a little space here. Like I can slide my hands underneath my butt here. Once you've got the balls in place, we're just going to take a little wag of the tail, just a little wiggle side to side, like almost as if you're trying to do the hula. So just kind of hip out to the side, hip out to the side, just a little bit of movement there. All right, one more little wiggle of the hips and then let the hips come to a stable position. Firm up your abdomen just a little bit. Pick your right knee up and take 3 knee lifts here. Nice. And then the next time that foot touches down, keep your belly firm and 3 knee lifts on the other side. Beautiful. And then both feet on the ground. Lift your butt up. Move the set of balls up about 2 or 3 inches. So now we're coming, I'm still below my rib cage, but working my way up. I'm on the muscles that run along the length of the spine. Once you've got your way here, come back to that little hula of the hips, just rocking the hips a little bit side to side. Awesome. One more little hula of the hips and then lift your butt up even higher so that you can move the balls up. So now we're getting right up to that edge of the shoulder blade area. Once you found your way here, just for a moment, if you can, let your butt settle all the way down. So it's going to take you into a little bit of a back bend. Let your back relax onto the balls. Take 3 nice big breaths. Beautiful. Keep your butt on the ground, but now we're going to pick the head up. Hands are going to come behind the head. So now you might feel that a little bit more of an intense pressure of your back onto the balls. And then we're going to lift the head up, keep the head supported, and then curl the tailbone under and see if you can lift your butt away from the floor and just give yourself a light little rock up and down. So maybe it's like 1 inch of movement underneath you. Awesome. And now see if you can just glide up the ball. See if you can move up. So now you're in that shoulder blade groove. See if you can find that shoulder blade groove. And then if you're there, settle your butt down, relax back over the balls. You can keep your hands behind the head if that feels like a nice way to go, just allowing the chest to open up too. Or you can release your hands from your head, whatever feels better to you. Take one more breath. Engage your abdominal muscles, lift your head up away from the floor. And now we're going to do some big glides up and down that ball. So we're going to go shoulder blades all the way up to the tops of the shoulders. So we're in that groove of the shoulder blades. We do want to stay on the muscle tissue. And then you might notice here, especially with those netted balls, sometimes they do catch the clothes a little bit. So if you need to readjust your clothes, especially if your shirt's starting to choke you out, just take a second. You'll just lift off, release, and then get right back to your work. Nice. Take one more big glide all the way up and down and then stay up at the top of the shoulder. So as high up in that shoulder groove as you can so that you're not on the cervical spine, you're still up in the muscles of the shoulders. Relax your butt down. Let your head relax down best you can. So just make sure that you've got that nice even position so the balls feel even underneath the shoulders. And then once you're there, free up your arms and just take a couple of nice big giant circles with your arms. Circle in one direction. And then when you're ready, take those arm circles and go the other way. Nice. One more big giant circle around. And then when you're ready, gently prop yourself up just so that you can remove the balls out from underneath the shoulders. And now we're going to take the netted balls behind the head. So in that occipital ridge or that occiput where the ridge of the skull meets the cervical spine. So find that little ridge, and our hands are going to help just hold the balls in place. So get the set of balls underneath your head, underneath the skull bone just a little bit. And then once you found your way there, hold the balls in place with your hand and just turn your head a little bit side to side. Nice. One more turn of the head side to side. And then we're going to pick the head up just so that you can get the left ball underneath that ridge of the, or that center point of the occiput. And then the right ball is going to be behind the right ear. So you're going to pick your head up and turn it just slightly. And then once you've got your head on in a way that feels right to you, give a couple of gentle nods of the head up and down. All right, one more nod of the head up and down, and then we're going to switch to the other side. So you're going to pick your head up. Right side ball is going to be at the center point of your skull. Left side ball is going to be behind the ear. So there's that slight head turn. And then once you've got that slight head turn, hold on to the balls and nod your head up and down. Nice. One more nod of the head up and down. And then lift your head up. And now we're going to place the ball back underneath that shoulder blade area. So now we've worked the whole length of the spine, mostly. Bring that ball back into that space between the shoulder blades, that lower point. So not the tops of the shoulders, but in that shoulder blade groove at the bottom point. Once you've got your way there, lower your head back down. Take a couple of turns of your head side to side, just a small range of motion, just enough to kind of soothe out the neck. Nice. One more turn of the head side to side, and then we're going to take it into those big giant arm circles again. So circle your arms in one direction. And then when you're ready, reverse directions and go the other way. Beautiful. And then when you're ready, we're going to slowly prop ourselves up. So elbows on the ground, prop yourself up, and we're going to take our netted balls, spin yourself around into a tabletop position. And then real quick, right shin on. We're just going to place the right shin on the netted balls and take 3 rolls of that right shin. Beautiful. Once you've done about 3 rolls of that right shin, switch over to the other side. Just pass that netted ball across, left shin on, and take about 3 good rolls of that left shin. Beautiful. And then when you're ready, move your netted balls just out of the way. We're going to come down onto our belly, and we're going to take our big ball with. So we're going to come down so that we can place the ball. So think about where that front protruding hip bone is, about 2 inches into that soft tissue. So we're going to place the big ball into that soft tissue, and then we're just going to come down as soft onto the ground as we can. Take a second to get everything rearranged. Relax your butt, relax your belly, and let your head relax, and just take 3 nice big breaths here. With each exhale, if you can, let your abdominal muscles just soften around that ball. Cool. Now you might choose to stay here. This might already be like just enough, but if it feels good, now you're just going to start to take a couple of bends of the right knee. So if the ball is underneath the right side, underneath that, if it's off to the right side, the right leg is the knee that you're going to bend. Wonderful. One more bend of the knee. And then the next time the toe floats down, we're going to prop ourselves up just a little bit. So now your upper body is going to come up just a little bit, like you're for my yoga friends, in your Sphinx position. So elbows and forearms down. So you're in a little bit of a back bend situation, but the ball is still creating that tension under the psoas. If this feels good and you're breathing comfortably here, come back to a couple of bends of that front knee or the right knee. But then just for a second here, check in. Are you clenching your jaw or holding any tension in your jaw? And if you are, just see if you can find a little softness in your jaw. All right, one more bend of that knee. And then when you're ready, we're going to roll off just a little bit so we can grab that ball and we're going to pass it over to the other side. So we're going to place that ball now in the left side, finding that soft groove. And then once you've found that soft groove, take a second to settle all the way back down. Relax your butt, relax your belly, relax your shoulders. With each exhale, if you can, soften a little bit further around the ball. Nice. And then keeping that lower head posture, if you like, bend and straighten the left leg. And one side might feel very different than the other. So if you're getting one side that's like super tight or it's feeling just like very sensational, you just make sure you're breathing into it comfortably because you just might hold a little bit more tension on the left psoas compared to the right or vice versa. All right, one more bend and straighten out that leg. And then if it felt good to do so, you're going to prop yourself back up again. So come up into that Sphinx-like position, pause there and take a breath. Nice. And then if that feels like a good amount of intensity for you, then you'll add that knee bend again. Beautiful. One more bend of that knee. And then when you're ready, relax that foot down, roll off to the side, grab that big ball, and we're going to pass it right back over to underneath the right thigh. So we're going to center it into the middle of the right thigh muscle. But now here, I like to prop myself up on my elbows and my left knee, my free leg is a little bit supportive. And then once you're there, just start by finding a little bit of a rock side to side. What we want to try to find is that center point of the thigh muscle. So if you can start to find that center point and that little groove in the middle of your thigh, once you feel like you've found that center point, now we're just going to take a couple of bends and straightens of that right leg. Still want to keep a slight firmness in the belly and a little bit of broadness in the shoulders so that the back feels protected. Lovely. One more bend and straighten of that leg, and then just roll off just enough so we can pass that ball over to the other side. So pass it over to the left. Find that center point of your left thigh, and then just maybe give a little rock around. Nice. And then once you feel like you've found that center groove, right knee is going to touch down, shoulders are going to stay broad, and we're going to bend and straighten the left leg. Beautiful. One more bend and straighten up that left leg. And then when you're ready, prop yourself all the way up to a tabletop position. But now we're going to play around with the netted balls versus the big ball. So start by using your netted balls, and we're going to place it in the back of the thigh or that crease between the calf muscle and the back of the thigh. And then you're just going to sit back a little bit. Notice how that feels, and then just give your tail a little wag side to side. Nice. And then when you feel ready, lift up, and we're just going to lift up just enough so that we can move the ball down a little bit. So maybe you're finding the center of your thigh or center of your calf, and then wag your tail a little bit. Beautiful. And then lift off, remove the netted balls, switch over to the big ball, place that big ball between the thigh and the calf, sit back just as much as you comfortably can. It's going to feel a little bit different. You'll find a little bit sensation here that's different comparatively just because it's more centered rather than those outer edges. Wag your tail just a little bit. Awesome. Lift off and then move it down just a little bit so you find a new point to work on, and then wag your tail just a little bit. Nice. And then when you're ready, lift up and off, switch over to the other side, grab your netted ball to start, place it between the thigh and the calf, sit back just enough so it feels good to you, and then rock your tail a little side to side. Awesome. And then when you're ready, lift off, move it down just a little bit, settle yourself back again, and then wag your tail if that feels good. For some of us, it might feel better to just stay in a stationary position and breathe. So it'll all just depend on how your body feels each day. All right, one more little wag side to side and then lift off, move your netted balls, grab your big ball, place it back in that starting position, sit your butt back. It's going to change your shape just a little bit. Find the depth of work here that feels good to you. And then if it feels good, wag your tail a little side to side. I find that the big ball is really intense in my calf muscle. I like it, but it's intense. All right, one more wag of the tail side to side and then lift off just a little bit. Move that ball down. Sit back as much as you can and wag your tail again. Nice. One more little wag of the tail side to side. And then when you're ready, lift your butt up, come into tabletop position, place that big ball underneath your right hand, draw a couple of generous circles around that palm. Maybe draw those circles, go the other way. Beautiful. And then pass that ball over to the other hand. Draw a couple of circles with that left palm. And then draw those circles the other way. And my brain is telling me that we did not do the left shin with the netted ball. So if we did not do the left shin with the netted balls, you might want to pass it over and give a little pulls in and out with that left shin. But my brain's just decided to trip out on me. So work the work that you need to even yourself out with. And then when you're ready, from your tabletop position, we're going to curl the toes under, lift your butt up just so, walk your feet towards your hands, come to a nice little soft fold here. Keep your knees super bent. Let your hands hang nice and heavy. Let your head hang nice and heavy here, and just allow just about 3 cycles of breath to find a little traction in your spine. So just let your spine hang as heavy as you can here. Nice. And then when you're ready, bend your knees a lot, pull your abdominal muscles in. We're going to roll on up nice and slow and controlled and take it into a big good morning stretch in a standing position. So you're going to just stretch your arms up towards the ceiling. Let your ribs lift, let your gaze lift, let everything find as much reach and length as you can. Take a nice big breath in. And then exhale, let your arms float down, shrug out your shoulders. You guys are amazing. Nice work today. Be sure to drink plenty of water after that work. We hit some big parts of the body. So just make sure that you keep that tissue nice and hydrated. A+.